Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and as the author of a book on migraines and epilepsy, this particular study really drives everything I talk about home. And so this was a study looking at over 10,000 people, which is a huge study, looking at what's called the dietary inflammatory index. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on what the dietary inflammatory index is, but you can guess. Like processed fast food, unhealthy fats, refined carbohydrates, all of those things drive inflammation, and diet is a key player in that. And so they looked at people and they asked them, it's 10,000 plus people, did you have a severe headache in the past 3 months? I think the thing that surprised me the most is that 22% of the people said yes. Headaches are not normal ever. I frequently have patients come in and say, oh, well, it's just my normal headache. And there's nothing normal about a headache. And then lo and behold, they make some lifestyle changes, or we structurally work on their neck and their headaches go away. They're not normal, and there are solutions for them. Now, many of those solutions require changes, as is evidenced by this study and the dietary inflammatory index. So those people who had the highest scores on the dietary inflammatory index had a 46% higher risk of being in that group of people who had a severe headache in the past 3 months. It was females were more likely, 20 to 50 years of age were more likely, those with higher education, maybe stress was playing a role in that, lower socioeconomic status, so generally ties with things like obesity and prediabetes and poor dietary choices, and higher BMI. All things were more linked. So if they had these things, their DII, dietary inflammatory index, was more linked to the fact of them having severe headaches. The thing to understand with a headache, it doesn't mean that you're deficient in, it used to be the triptans, then it was Topamax, and now it's the CG, calcitonin gene-related peptide. You're not deficient in any of those. Giving drugs to affect those isn't the problem. If you're having a headache, your brain is pissed off at you. That's the thing to understand. And so diet becomes a major player in our brain being pissed off at us. So, couple tips. First of all, increase your intake of healthy fats and decrease your intake of unhealthy fats. It's always going to have a big impact on your overall health. No refined carbohydrates. You have to read the ingredients label. That means no enriched wheat flour, no sugar, no high fructose corn syrup. Stay away from high calorie, low nutrient foods. We want to do high nutrient, low calorie fruits or foods. So think things like broccoli and not chips. And that goes along with processed foods. So no processed foods. I have what I call my 8-year-old rule. The typical 8-year-old rule can't read the ingredients label. We shouldn't be eating it. So if you've got an 8-year-old handy, have them read the ingredients label. If they can read it, then you're good. If they can't read it, don't buy it. And lastly, more of a plant-based diet is an anti-inflammatory type diet. If you're going to do a carnivore type diet, it has to be high quality, none of this commercially raised crap. It's very pro-inflammatory. We need to be wild game or organic grass-fed, and that becomes an expensive process. So as always, I will post a link to this particular study as well as a link to my Migraines and Epilepsy book in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.